Hello, everyone. It's Barbara Dertina coming to you live from Jupiter, Florida. And I just wanted to speak a moment on something I've just learned recently about health. And I thought I knew about it, but there have been so many wonderful things on offerings, free things to listen to on so many different areas. And I've really been taking advantage of it, sometimes a little bit too much, but it's so rich. People want impact in the world. Many people have made a lot of money in their industry, and they want to share their knowledge with others. They want to help others pivot. And so I don't know about you, but health is really important to me. And especially now that I'm aging, oh, we're always aging, I guess. If we're not growing, we're aging. And that starts really at about 20 or 18, as a side note here. But I wanted to talk about fermentation. And, we've been led astray. When I was younger, and I'm older, we would eat things like pickles. And if you look at the cultures of many countries, there are so many different pickled and fermented foods to include in the diet. For Korea, it's kimchi. They use it in almost everything. We used to eat pickles like crazy. There were big pickle barrels. You would get a big pickle, and that would be your snack. But then I started going on different diets in my 30s after having children, body changing, and all of them seemed to say, no fermented foods, no fermented foods. Well, our body needs fermented foods. And I watched this wonderful summit by all these different doctors and researchers. So they all came from very different aspects and world-renowned people. And the topic was gut health and your microbiome. And I stopped and spent a few hours listening to all the different things that they shared. And one big tip for health today, and I have to tell you, as another sidebar, they themselves are very worried and were calling out, just prescribing things like crazy. I mean, if you're on something long-term, you're going to have side effects long-term. And I learned a number of different stories, and different people were in different, areas of health and medicine. And so one thing can lead to, and it could be misdiagnosed, which leads to another thing. And then that causes a side effect. Then they're going to give you something thinking that that's a symptom that you have, and give you something else, and told some stories that were really rather serious. And one started off with the white lab coat syndrome. So many people get nervous at the doctor, and they know now that your blood pressure can go up. So this particular gentleman went to the doctor, then they talked to him about blood pressure, which he really didn't have high blood pressure, but they gave him 3 different blood pressure medications that caused him to get lightheaded one day. So then they thought he was having seizures, and on and on. And this poor man, really, his whole health deteriorated from the situation. And I am not making any claims or anything else. I'm just illustrating that you have to be proactive and speak up for yourself and know your body and start learning about things that you need to do to biohack. That's the biology of good hacks or bad hacks for your body, and understand your body. We're not taught about our body. We're taught, go to someone else to learn or to help you with your body. So one of the big tips that they talked about was to eat 2 different fermented foods every day, and to change them up. So if you like, just pickles, that's not going to be, have pickles twice a day, every single day. You need to change it up. So, cuisines have sauerkraut, cuisines have kimchi, cuisines have pickled beets. I can't name all the different pickled eggs. People fermented foods. And I had a friend who talked about fermentation a few years ago, like, we need to start fermenting our food and eating fermented food. That is for our microbiome and our probiotic of our body system. Our gut health is so vital to every aspect. So I thought, the blood-brain, the gut-brain connection, and your gut is your second brain. But after I watched the summit with so many diverse extremely well thought of doctors and researchers that our gut health is actually connected to almost everything that happens in our body. So if you can get that right, that's the first place to start. And on my next talk, I'm going to tell you about something that is another key factor that I learned recently. So it's Barbara Dertino with Wellness Matters, You Matter. You can reach me at Facebook, Wellness Matter, You Matter. And my webpage, Wellness Matters, You Matter. And it's really, really important that we start paying attention to our own personal health. Thank you. Have a great new year, and I'll see you in 2022.